Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And what I want to share with you is actually something I had planned to talk with Jonathan Twomley about, but unfortunately he is going to miss today and actually miss next week as well, as he is enjoying the summer vacations with his family and he is out and about. But what I want to do in this video is I want to bring up an article that talks about a big Wall Street hedge fund, big deep pocket investor, talk about what they're doing in today's market and why it is something we need to pay attention to. It's also kind of telling us, where others may be going. So allow me to bring up an article and we will go through that together. So let me share my screen. And why isn't that coming up? One sec, sorry. Can I do this? There we go. All right, we'll do it this way. So hopefully you're seeing that now. And again, this is about a landlord, or we will look through the article and call them out, basically cashing in on their bet during the Great Recession, and what they're doing with those proceeds and how they're changing their business model and why I think it's something we need to pay attention to. So in essence, there is this, Wall Street hedge fund who picked up a lot of homes during the crisis. They're actually selling off 1,000 of their U.S. rentals. The new buyer is Pretium Partners. Again, another person with deep pockets. But what is interesting in this example is he's selling off 1,000 homes, 300 million. The buyer realizes they're going to have to put in about 15,000 per home on top of that. So again, 1,000 homes, right? So they're going to be into this, about 450 million, if I'm doing the math right. So again, these properties will need some upgrades. Think about what I do when I buy a property and upgrade it. I call it a pride of ownership. It looks like this investor is doing it, mainly in Atlanta and Nashville, which are some pretty hot markets. A little bit about the buyer. Looks like the buyer already owns 55,000 single family homes. That is quite the portfolio, and something that is coming. But what is interesting is we know what has changed is Wall Street is chasing returns. This is 100% based on the Fed. The Fed is forced rates lower, so Wall Street is hungry for yield, and they have come to dominate some markets in the single family area. But what is interesting is to go back and look at what GTIS, the seller, right, the seller did during the crisis. They ended up picking up 4,000 homes, so they were pretty active buying in the foreclosure markets. But what they're doing now is they're selling off their entire portfolio, and right, they've substantially completed the sale of their portfolio. But what is going on is they are going to be focusing on newly built homes. This is a big deal. This is why I talk about build for rent is just starting. This is an area of the market that's pretty small today, but just another sign that build for rent is going to be bigger part of our world going forward. Moving a little bit lower. Again, they are deep pockets. There's a lot of people coming. They've committed billions of dollars to buy rental homes. Blackstone, KKR, Brooksfield, all of that. And they've raised roughly $2.5 billion earlier this year to buy more and more homes. So what this means for you and I is in some markets, and my students are telling me, like Nashville has been brought up and Memphis has been brought up a couple of times on my private Facebook groups, but they're out there. I think it's interesting, right? The foreclosure crisis of 12 or 13 years ago was very much about buying older homes. Those homes, all homes are 14, 15 years older now. Many firms are realizing that those older homes come with maintenance, and they are selling those off, as you saw in this example. But they're staying in the game, right? They've got the infrastructure, they got the teams, they got the know-how, but they're going to be buying newer product, right? A lot of these test runs we've talked about, I think we talked about one in Houston, Texas, 130 or 150 houses. Build for rent is coming. The demand for single family homes has never been higher, whether that's owner occupied or rentals. People want space. People want yards. So if you are in these markets with growing populations and growing economies, you are likely to see increased demand, prices, and also some increased rent. Wall Street's not going away. They are chasing yield. Yields are really low today. So it's just something to think about. Again, what do I do when I see this? is I invest around them. I try to figure out their buy box. One thing that is very obvious with Wall Street is they have lots of systems and processes and relationships and things of that nature, but they're also kind of lazy. They are going through a buy box because one of the things about these big hedge fund folks is they don't want to make exceptions, because if the exception is wrong, they can get fired and lose their lucrative salaries. So again, figure out their buy box, talk to people, network, figure out what they're buying. Also, if you are one of my students yesterday said, "Oh my God, I just lost a deal to a hedge fund." What I told them in the group is, don't worry about it. They right now, it seems like they back out or don't close 50% of the housing that they lock up. Something during inspection or something comes about and they back out. So they're not great closers, right? They don't close 100% of the deals they get in. They barely close half, based on some of the conversations I have had. And then lastly, something I want to bring up, obviously we have the 4th of July weekend, the 4th of July celebration coming up. And what I've decided to do is I will let the June 50 discount roll until July 5th. So if you thought about getting the course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, you want to change your future, change what is going on, you can do the work. You can buy the course, link below, and see what it's all about. You will save $50 through July 5th morning. I will change it on July 5th. But heck, it's only 4 more days. Halfway through the year, people are thinking about how to change their future. I thought I would let that keep going. So hope that helps somebody. Hope that saves you $50. You get the course. If you do get the course, make sure you join the private Facebook group. Just search in Facebook for a group called One Rental at a Time Works. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We will talk to Jonathan in a couple of weeks, and I hope you have a great time. And if you're going on vacation somewhere, let's have some fun. Leave a comment below. Let me know where you're going. I'd love to hear from you. Take care. Bye.